Thank you for being with us here today as we launch a brand new fentanyl awareness campaign here at CMPD. On October 19th, I stood here and in our third quarter public safety briefing, and I previewed this fentanyl campaign for you. I told you that at that time we had 162 people in our city this year who have lost their lives due to overdose. Here we are now on November 9th, just 3 weeks later, and that overdose fatality number has unfortunately risen to nearly 180 people in this city. If there was any question about the dangers of fentanyl overdose in this city, there shouldn't be any longer. We need change. We need something impactful. We hope that this campaign will be the catalyst for that change. This can't be delayed any longer. The time is now. The goal of this campaign is to spark conversations in our city, in our schools, and amongst our friends and our families. Our approach of using popular slang terms used in our society here is intentional. We are trying to make these conversations reach across generations. Let's be honest, some are more familiar than others about the danger of using pills purchased on the street, and some are more familiar than others with popular slang that's used in our society today. Both of these topics are teachable. The message of this campaign is twofold. First, any pill not purchased directly from a pharmacy could be a fake and has the potential to kill you. Fentanyl often hides in plain sight, and if you buy a street pill, there is a very high probability that it will contain fentanyl. Second, proper disposal of pills is essential, and we have resources available in our community to do that safely. I brought some special guests with me today to share how fentanyl has affected their family. Jamarian Roseborough died from a tragic overdose on August 10th at the young age of 18 years old. Jamarian's mother, Charlotte-Mecklenburg, is going to come share on behalf of the family this morning. Charlotte is joined by Jamarian's parents, Kevin and Kayla Roseborough, and his brothers, Kevin and Davion. I'd like to welcome them up now. Well, yeah, just stand right here.
Good morning.
Very good. That's perfect.
Good morning. I'm Charlotte-Mecklenburg, the parent of Jamarian Kayvon Roseborough. Jamarian was an 18-year-old boy who dreamed of basketball, gaming, and social media influence. Jamarian was a mixture of personality, old soul, yet life of the party. He would change the negative atmosphere to a positive one. He was always able to lighten up your darkest day, no matter what it was. No matter what it was, an encouraging word, a song, or at least, at his best, a dance. He was a boy of many talents. He was beyond his years for sure. Jamarian wasn't a known pill taker. As a child, I would have to crush his Tylenol into his juice to make him take it. Same with cough medicine. And that was still the case at 18. Jamarian was a Charlotte native born at Presbyterian Hospital at 12:04 p.m. The last day I spoke with him, he had a plan. He was fascinated and fixated on becoming a better man. He wanted to find a way to better his life and the people around him. He was an avid NBA YoungBoy listener, and also he loved some R&B. The advice that I would give to the youth is listen to your parents and be yourself. Turn the music down for a second and focus on what's around you. Pay attention to who you call a friend. People may love you, but there are intentions and they are not sometimes always pure. It's okay to take a beat and just find your own rhythm in this world. Jamarian will want us to remember him as a person who was trying to become a better person, not only for himself, but for his loved ones as well. He was such a family guy, reaching out ever so often with the "you good" text. He wanted to make everyone happy. Most importantly, he wanted stability. He wanted to be a person with a purpose, which he definitely was. It's difficult to say the words rest in peace to my son. I could never do that. So we say long live Jay. And his bonus mom introduced us with Forever 18 in his honor. I feel that that's what he would want us to do. He was too beautiful of a soul to not let live on. So we will do just that through each and every one of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, for sharing about Jamarian. Our next speaker today is Lieutenant Robert Sprague of the Covert Operations Division here at CMPD. He's going to share more about the dangers of fentanyl and what we have seen here specifically in Charlotte. Lieutenant Sprague.
Thanks. Good morning. As you just heard, Jay was one of the 179 people so far this year that have died of an overdose. That's a 20% increase from last year. These are mothers, fathers, children, family members, as you can see, and unfortunately, that affects all of us. It affects our community. That is right now that's more than double the number of homicides that we have, overdose deaths. Nearly 2/3 of those are people under the age of 40. As you can see, these deaths are not exclusive to any one group or area of Charlotte. They affect all of us, and they're happening everywhere. These are scary numbers, 179. It's a lot. And they're being fueled by fentanyl. Fentanyl is everywhere, as Lieutenant Petrus said. It's in everything. It's being mixed with just about every drug that's out there, especially the illegal ones being purchased from the street. They are being pressed into pills and being sold under the names of Oxycontin, Xanax, Percocet, when in reality, many of them are mixed with fentanyl or they are pure fentanyl. They're making these pills into 20 and 30 milligram units. So if you think about that just for a moment, 2 milligrams of fentanyl is considered to be a lethal dose. So we're talking 20 milligrams and 30 milligram pills that are being sold on the street. 2 milligrams, just to put it into kind of perspective, is about 10 to 15 grains of salt. It's that small. So when you're making it into 20 or 30 milligrams, that's a huge amount of fentanyl. I wanted to highlight some of the work that our CMPD Vice Unit does and is doing. They are an amazing group that does amazing work for the community in seizing massive amounts of drugs, including fentanyl. Unfortunately, for as much as they do seize, it is just a small amount compared to what is flooding into our community and into our country. So far this year, the Vice Unit has seized about 75 pounds of suspected fentanyl. One of the great cases that they have worked that I wanted to highlight is about less than a month ago. They located a suspected fentanyl lab. Inside this residence was there's powder, there were pills, there were pill presses. The entire house was filled with what we suspect to be fentanyl at that time. It was so much that the detectives, as you can see in the pictures, when they entered the house, they had to wear hazmat suits. Those pills, the ones that we found, were being pressed into, it was fentanyl, it was being pressed into 30 milligram doses of Oxycontin. So if you think about, they're making them out of this house and then they're taking them out to the street and they're selling 30 milligram doses to people who think that they're buying Oxycontin. In this, they seized $120,000 worth of fentanyl pills. As you can see in the picture, that's just one of the large bags that they were able to get. This was a great collaborative effort between, again, our CMPD Vice Unit, the North Carolina SBI, and, of course, the DEA. Another example of outstanding work that we've had just this past week, the Vice Unit coordinated with the Union County Sheriff's Department. They purchased and arrested 2 subjects who were selling fentanyl. They were selling fentanyl both in Charlotte and in Union County. In all, they seized several thousand fentanyl pills, again, as you can see in the pictures. This is not uncommon, and this happens all the time. You have people who, fentanyl knows no borders. It doesn't identify just to Charlotte or to a specific area within Charlotte. It is crisscrossing into Gaston County, Iredell County, Union County. We have made partnerships with agencies across North Carolina. We will continue to target people who not only make and produce, but also sell fentanyl and illegal drugs, and we will work with those partners to make those arrests. Unfortunately, for as many arrests as we make, that certainly is not going to stop people from using drugs. So that's why the education campaign is so vital. Many of the users are aware of the dangers of fentanyl, but there are just as many that are not. As Lieutenant Petrus said, you do have to understand that any time that you buy an illegal drug or a drug from the street, you have no idea what you're purchasing. You hope that it is what you've set up to buy, whether it's Xanax or Percocet or whatever that drug may be. But in reality, you're just playing Russian roulette. You have no idea what you're purchasing. It could be pure fentanyl. We hope this campaign, which is targeted towards a younger crowd or our younger generation, takes hold, and even if it creates just conversation, whether it's fun or serious, it's about having our youth talking to their families, talking to their friends, and making this fentanyl danger a common conversation. If you're taking a pill that is not prescribed by a doctor, there's a very good chance that it has fentanyl in it. Along with the awareness campaign, we've put out the drug drop boxes that are available to you. We do want you to dispose of any drugs that you have, whether they are legally gotten from a doctor or illegally. You can bring them to drop box here at CMPD headquarters. It's in between the parking deck and the law enforcement center. There's a drop box out there. There's also a drop box at the UNCC Police Department headquarters. The Matthews Police Department has one, as well as several other business locations throughout Charlotte. You can Google drug drop-off locations or medication drop-off locations, and you can go to our website, which also will have information on where to drop them off. You can dispose of these drugs at these locations, no questions asked. We're not going to interview you or ask you where you got them from. Our main point is to get those drugs dropped off at a safe location so that they can be disposed of as well. Another piece of education that we're utilizing that we're excited about is called the Overdose Mapping and Application Program, which is called OD MAPS. It is a federal system that allows us to put information into it, real-time information on where overdoses are occurring. Our partnership with Medic, who will be at the forefront of this and entering the information, will allow us again to make quick changes to whatever spikes that we may see. If we see a bunch of overdoses in one particular area of Charlotte, we can push out information to our community, alerting them to the potential of drugs that have been laced with fentanyl or could kill them. Saving lives is the most important thing to us. We're not interested as much, again, as I said, as much as we can make arrests. At the end of the day, saving lives is the main point here. And if somebody you know or you yourself are suffering from addiction, the CMPD website also has information on there for addiction assistant resources or specialists. So I encourage anybody who knows somebody who is suffering from addiction or themselves, utilize those resources and get the help.
Thank you, Lieutenant Sprague. I want to take just a moment to share more about this campaign and what it's going to look like. First of all, this campaign is designed for Charlotte. The DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, has a national campaign targeting fentanyl pills, but what we wanted to do is take that concept and make it local. When we talk about 200 people, an estimated 200 people dying in Charlotte this year, that should hit home, and I think we need to take that seriously, and we wanted to take the national concept and localize it. There's a brand new website that's now live to host this campaign. That website is street-pills-kill.com, streetpillskill.com. You can go directly to that website, or you can go to the main CMPD website, which is cmpd.org, and link back to that Street Pills Kill website also. That website contains information, videos, maps of our local Dropbox location, and much more. In addition to the website, community members can expect to see this content on CMPD social media pages, the My CMPD mobile application, and in online ads. You will also hear this message on local radio. We will continue to work with local businesses to spread word about this campaign and coordinate the message. As time moves on, we hope to get this message out in more spaces so that it can reach as many people as possible. We have currently produced a creative sized as a billboard, and we're working to identify locations to push that out in billboard capacity also. Another partnership that we are especially excited about is with Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools to make this campaign visible in our high schools. I want to thank CMS for their support on this important initiative. We do have Spanish versions of our main flyer available and on our website, and there's also going to be a video in Spanish that mirrors this press conference that's going to go out shortly after this. So it's time to start conversations. We owe it to each other. We are at risk of losing those we know and love, and we have to take action, and that action needs to be now. We have to do everything we can to prevent any more senseless deaths here in Charlotte. Are there any questions?
So just to confirm, the billboards are not up yet.
Billboards are not up yet.
I'll go ahead and ask for those who may be wondering, but can we get translations on some of these unique phrases for those who don't know it?
Sure, yeah. So, Hunter, good question. Let me start out with this. This campaign is designed to stand out. In the world of public safety awareness messages, in the world of marketing messages that consume our worlds, that fight for our attention, we don't want this message to get lost. This is meant to stand out. So the concept is using popular slang terms that might be more common among younger folks. You see no cap. Cap is a popular term for lie. So what we're saying is no lie. There's no lie here. This is the truth. All right. That's the first part of that. Those pills are sus. Okay. Sus is a shortened word for suspicious. Okay. There's something going on with that. There's something not quite right with that. So no lie, or this is the truth. Those pills, talking about street pills, those purchased not from a pharmacy, not prescribed from a doctor, are suspicious. There's something wrong with those, and we should stay away from them. That's the main message of our campaign.
You know, I know you talk about like you want to get conversations started and so forth, but like when people look at this campaign, do you feel like, I mean, obviously the goal is to stop folks from, but I guess who's the architect behind this campaign? And I know it's really large, and like how much money are you guys putting in this and rolling it out and so forth? Yeah,
so this campaign was developed here in-house, here at CMPD. Our public affairs staff has done a great job of being creative, of trying to target the audiences that we want to target, and then developing the content that we see. So we don't have a budget. We have been relying on donations of media space. That's one of the things that we're working towards with the billboard space. We talk about radio spots and working with businesses, working with CMS. But yeah, this was developed in-house, and to your question, if I'm understanding this, somebody might look at this and not understand what it's saying, and here's what we say: that's okay. Because curiosity, hopefully, will lead them to go to that website. Curiosity will prompt a conversation between a mom and a son, or between a teacher and a student, between a counselor and a young person. Prompting those conversations, sparking those conversations is what we want. If somebody sees a billboard driving down the road of this, and they don't understand at all what it means, what we hope is that once they're done driving, they'll pick up their cell phone and Google, no cap, what does that mean? All right? We want them to go to our website, the Street Pills Kill website, so that they'll learn more. So we understand that folks might not understand it right at the beginning, right upon first sight, and we feel that's okay because we feel it's going to prompt further a deeper dive into it.
Or even like, is there any concern that it won't be taken as seriously, like more of like, you know what I mean? If people do see this, or I don't know.
No, we don't see it that way. We see it as needing to stand out. Going back to Hunter's question, we could put out a campaign that says, "Don't take pills." Okay, how compelling is that? It's a clear message, but how compelling? How much is that going to stand out in a crowded marketplace where you, I, and everyone else watching we use our phones, we have messages thrown at us all day, every day. We want this to stand out. We want it to be different.
So by tonight, when this all airs and gets out there, and you start having reaction from all different sides, that's part of the mission.
It's part of the mission. Conversation.
Is Jamarian's mother able to come back up?
Sure, ma'am. Shalita, are you okay? Answer a question.
I just want to get your reaction to seeing this campaign, and what do you hope that other parents out there get from it?
First of all, I'm glad that it's happening to bring awareness to what's going on in the streets. And I hope that, like he said, it'll strike a conversation between some mothers and some sons. And I hope that it will get the parents more involved in who's around their children. Be attentive to what's going on, what changes, what stays the same. Have conversations with those kids and let them know, hey, this is what we talk about in our house, so we need to have the same understanding over here. That's what I hope this does.
What's your advice to parents and teens who may be seeing this today, after all you've been through?
Just please stay on top of your children. Keep the communication line open, and just, children, listen. They have great intentions for you. We're only telling you because we love you, not because we want to control your life. We've been there. We've seen things. Just listen, please. We love you. We're just trying to save you. That's all. Thank you.
All right, we have a media release out. We have a suite of videos on the website that I mentioned. I believe those are going to be in the media release also. We encourage folks to go to that website. Again, it'll link from the main CMPD page, but you can also go directly to that website. And again, we hope that this sparks conversation and that it makes a real difference in Charlotte when it comes to overdose deaths. Thanks for being here today.